Good morning, everybody. Scott Fardulis here, and welcome to the Wednesday morning YGYBuilder Zoom training. And we're so excited to have all of you with us every week, week in and week out. And each week we look forward to hearing feedback from you and stories from you. We've got a really amazing phone app that has launched just in the last month or so. I think it has taken a lot of people by storm. They're having fun with it. It's a useful tool. It's all designed to help you build and be more proficient and efficient at building your longevity business. So whether that's developing new customers, whether that's developing new leaders, whether that's developing new superstars that are really looking to do something fantastic for them and their family, this app is designed to do a lot of it. Yesterday, we had a phenomenal circle up roundtable discussion with some of the leaders that are involved in the behind the scenes activities going on with this phone app. There's a think tank of people that are constantly looking to evolve and grow from anything that we always have. We're never sitting idle. There's always new ideas. There's always new concepts that we're looking to implement as we move forward. So all that being said, just know that we're excited about this app. We hope you are as well. And we would love to hear any feedback, thoughts, or questions or comments from all of you. So we've had it out and about now for, as I mentioned, about the last month. We launched it at Leadership Mastery. And what we're finding is that last week's training or Zoom was really, really helpful for so many people. We've had posts to the Facebook page. We've had private text messages. We've had email conversations. And again, all you need to do is go to the App Store. Once you have your YGYBuilder account set up by going to YGYBuilder.com, you establish your account. And then once that's done, you go to the App Store like you would for any other app that you would download onto your Android or to your iPhone. And now you've got this little icon right on the face of your phone. And every time you click on that, you have the ability to just simply get permission from someone and use any contact you already have on your phone and send a link that tells the story of longevity in such a powerful way that really questions and asks all the right thoughts of people, puts people in the right mind frame, vets and sorts for you, and then very succinctly and methodically, like a very crafted surgeon, dissects longevity for a person and leads them step by step into a very intriguing path of longevity. So that's what it's designed to do. Why did we do that? Because so many times people find themselves tongue-tied or not really knowing how to handle a certain person or a prospect and knowing exactly what to say at what time and what order things or sequence things are supposed to fall. And that's what YGYBuilder does for you. So it's an opt-in program for the person on the other side, but what you can know for sure is that they are being asked all the right questions and they are being invited into the family of longevity. So when they register, they're registering directly into your business, into your downline, into your organization, because YGYBuilder is attached directly to your back office. So whatever your ID number is at Longevity, that's linked to your YGYBuilder account. So it's a very smart app. It toggles between what we're doing in the field and talking directly with the computer systems and the servers at Longevity. So again, when they place an order, you're getting credit for the BV. You're getting the QV. It's helping you rank advance. And then what you want to do is take this app and what I'm doing personally is all in one felled swoop. They're being invited into Longevity. They already have the options of, a $25 enrollment pack or one of the middle grade packs that's now being offered, or even a CEO pack. Those are the options for people getting started. And then they're being invited immediately right on the front side to take this tool, download this tool just like you've done, have this app, and then begin passing it out to people they know as well. So what you can see is that in itself is a system inside the system. So YGYBuilder also has Longevity University built into it, and there's an accountability system that allows you to know exactly where they are in their journey, going through each step of this journey, including the university. So they've got all that under their belt. So think about it. Your brand new prospect is more up to date and more knowledgeable and more trained than probably the majority of people that are inside of Longevity, because we put all that into one package right up front, right on that front side. So that being said, we'd love to hear any experiences you've had, any questions you have. If you have anything that is exciting to share, we'd like to hear about it. If you've got something that needs clarity, we'd like to give that to you. So gonna take a moment here just to open up these lines and just ask for your thoughts, for your feedbacks, and any shares that you have. So I'm gonna zip my lips here and look for any comments that you'd like to make.
Hey, Scott. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, John. I'll wait on you.
Very kind of you. Thank you. I just wanted to send a shout out to Joel, who's been working really hard. He's worked with me on some issues that I was having with how I set up my my YGYBuilder and how that was being translated over into the Philippines. He's been working really hard, making some things work for me. And Joel, I appreciate the hard work that you've done, and Scott for putting this app together. It's amazing how you can have so much great information, and I love that the videos are fairly short and concise, so it allows someone to get through the system quickly. And I'm looking forward to having some really good results, particularly over there in the Philippines, but also here in the States.
Great feedback, John. Thank you for that. And we know that you've got a lot of cool things going on. So if you don't mind me bragging on you for just a second, John, what you did is you went to social media and you ran a free ad that went out to several channels, and you got some responses out of that, specifically targeting the Philippines. And I think your strategy there was smart, because obviously you don't speak Mandarin. Last I checked, you don't know how to speak Japanese or Korean or you know, some of the other dialects that are spoken there. So you went into an English-speaking society and solicited and ran some ads, and you got a whopping response of at least a few hundred people to come back and comment to you. So there's a lot of leads right there. And now, everyone, what he has the ability to do is simply take his YGYBuilder phone app and send a link to those people that opted in. That's a lot of fishing poles in the water. That's a lot of great potential there. So again, he doesn't have to spend all of his time talking personally in depth to all of the, and I'm just using a round number here, those 300 leads that you have that opted in modern time. You're going to let that tool do the work for you. So I think it's brilliant. I think it's really cool. And that's just one example of how powerful and useful this tool can be in a situation like that. So thanks, John, for that testimony and feedback.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else have something they'd like to share or a comment they'd like to make?
Hey, Scott.
Yes.
Linda, I was just wondering, on the YGYBuilder, have we the ability now to send those links out in Spanish?
No, there is not a Spanish conversion yet. We have not done the subtitles for that. I will tell you that we have a Spanish-speaking leader that is going to do a complete remake of these videos in Spanish. So that is something we're working on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and of course there's also the subtitles that will be implemented also. And so ultimately, you know, what we'll have is, for a leader, when they believe their time is right or the opportunity is good for them, they may want to have it branded with their face and their voice, et cetera. So until that happens, you know, we have what we have, which is perfect. So yeah, great question, Glenda. All right, let me just mute out these lines one more time. Okay. Getting a little feedback there. Okay, anybody else? Questions, thoughts, comments, ideas, feedback, anything at all? Just imagine how powerful
Scott,
this tool would be for you if you just looked at your prospect list and your contact list. Who are some people that you could go back to and say, hey guys, you know what? There's so much that's evolved since the first time I talked to you. Check out this app. Look at this. And I'd love your feedback on this. Tell me what your thoughts are when I send you this link. If I send it to you, will you go through it? That's a really great way to come back for a second or a third round at some of the prospects that you might have been dripping on for a while and not seem to have made a whole lot of progress. This kind of professionalizes and encapsulates everything we do. And again, it's a great second crack at the bat.
Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, Reggie. Go ahead.
Yes, a couple of things. First of all, it's also really powerful for team members, distributors who have not been active in my team, my business. I sent it out to some of those guys, and it's gotten them interested in pursuing getting distributors because they didn't like talking to people, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. I think that's fantastic. So great call, great recognition on another useful way to use this tool and just re-engage or engage some of those people. Great call, Reggie.
Now, should I get a text message when they activate the system, use the system?
Go ahead, Joel.
Reggie, can you repeat that?
No, I said, should I be receiving a text message whenever they use the system, whenever they activate the system?
The people in your team?
No, yeah, when I send it out to someone and they start to process through the videos, I get email messages. Should I be getting a text message or just an email message?
Oh yeah, just email message. So we did away with the text notifications
Okay.
because you get push notifications from the app on your phone. So it'd be kind of redundant there. So we did away with the texts. So now it's just email notification and then the push notification from the app.
And what is
Joel? Explain how those are different specifically, so people know the difference between in particular a text message and a push notification, because sometimes I think people are hearing that it might be something similar. So
Sure.
we all know what email is, and what's the difference between a text and a push?
So a push notification is simply something that shows up in, like, if you have an iPhone, it pops up in your phone, and I'm going to pull up just a screenshot of what that looks like. And so basically the app is notifying you. And so if your app is not notifying you on your phone, you might check your phone settings, because oftentimes you can actually turn off notifications in your phone for different apps. And I know I did that, maybe several months ago, so that I wasn't being distracted by all these notifications on my phone all the time. I wanted to have more focus and more attention on the things that I wanted to put my attention to. But this is a good idea to keep these push notifications on there. So this is what a push notification looks like. That's my lock screen on my phone with the image there, and then that is a YGYBuilder like little push notification when my phone is locked. And when it's not locked, it will just show up on the top of your screen like this, and it'll say new click activity. And so you will get the push notification when someone clicks on a link that you have sent them through your app. So when you send them a link through your app and they touch it for the first time, you will get a push notification. And then each time when they fill out that form and they click submit, you'll get a push notification. And at that point, you'll start getting emails as well, because they have filled out their information and in your form, okay? And then you'll get a push notification each time they go through a video. And I hope that clears things up for people. And then one thing I was talking with John about last night is you will not, when you send the link from your desktop app, desktop YGYBuilder, okay, which is separate from the app, yet they're connected. I see the confusion there. You can send a link from the desktop, and you won't get notified when they click it. You'll only get notified after they fill it out. So that's one of the main differences there, because through the app it's a tracking link, and you'll know as soon as they touch it. When you send it out like John did to his Facebook page, he grabbed his link from his YGYBuilder desktop, and he's only able to know when they're on that page after they've filled out the form. Okay, so that's just a key distinction there. Daniel says, can we send the link through email yet? Any way we can choose from contacts, main, or home number? Okay, so Daniel, two good questions here. So yes, you can send the link through email. It will be, as I said though, it won't be a tracking link. Okay, it'll just be the apply now funnel link that's in your back office, and you won't know when they click on it. You will know when they fill it out though. Okay. And then secondly, can we choose from contacts, main, or home number? So what you want to do as of right now, you want to make sure that the mobile number, so I actually ran into this recently. So I have a buddy in my phone named Bryce, and the first number, when I saved Bryce in my contact book, 8 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever, I saved his home phone in there first, and then I put his cell phone number in there. And so if I look at my contacts and I go to Bryce, and it shows, if you look at it, the first number on the top is home, the next one is mobile. Okay, so what I actually ended up doing was I deleted his home phone and then re-added it so that now when I go to my contact book, the mobile number is listed on top and the home number is listed second. And so it pulls the first number that you have for that person, it pulls that into the text message app. So if you have a contact in your phone that has multiple phone numbers for one contact, it's going to pull the top one. So make sure the top one is the mobile number. It's a good question.
Yeah, that's great. I figured that out, and I got that right. So thanks so much. But I want to also say that I appreciate you explaining the push notification. That's what I was confused with. So that was good information, Joel. Thanks a lot.
You bet, Reggie. I was going to ask you if that answered your question. So thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Hey, Reggie, and one more thing too on that. So that little box window that just kind of takes over and pushes right onto your screen, it makes it super obvious that Joel just showed you. So yesterday I gave that link out to someone, and 4 separate times throughout the day, that box popped up. Same exact.
Yes.
So it just kept on giving me that push notification. So if I was on my phone or texting or emailing, it just takes over and boom, there's that box up, and it makes it very, very obvious. And it says the name of the person that's taking the activity with the logo of the YGYBuilder app, and that's the push notification working. So it's just really cool to see that, because every time throughout the day I was going, oh wow, that new prospect that I gave the link to, it's this person is coming back in on their free time multiple times throughout the day to take more steps, which is really cool. So that's how I saw it in action just here recently myself.
Yes, I'll check and see if my notifications are turned on.
There you go. Cool.
Yep. Great questions, guys. Love them. This is the kind of stuff that's great to talk about. So anybody else have something they'd like to share, or just a question at all?
Yes, Scott, this is Bobby Knight.
Hey, Bobby.
Yes, I wanted to know, how much is the cost for the YGYBuilder, and is there a cost for the YGYBuilder app?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me come right back to you. I'm going to mute out all the lines again, and then you can unmute yours, Bobby. Okay, so you're Bobby. If I heard you correctly, you were asking about the cost of YGYBuilder versus the app. So I think this is beautiful and brilliant all at the same time. Once you have YGYBuilder, which is never changed in price, it's $29.95 a month. The app for your phone, it's free. It costs nothing. So all the things that we're adding in, and one of the conversations we had yesterday was unique training for YGYBuilder members, the phone app for YGYBuilder members. Anything that we're adding that's unique to membership, it's all covered in the original $29.95. So when you download that app, Bobby, no fee whatsoever. Keep in mind that typically when you download apps that are money-making tools, there definitely are fees associated with those tools. So no charge whatsoever, complimentary.
So is it $29.95 all the way, no taxes and stuff?
$29.95. I don't know. I don't think there's any taxes. Can anybody speak to that? I don't believe there are at all. Just making sure it's not just me.
No, but I just saw the charge on my bank account recently. It's just $29.95. No tax on, at least for me.
So Scott, does this also cover the opportunity and coming from a product perspective, or mostly product perspective?
It does. It covers the whole gamut. And here's how we do that. Obviously, and I don't want to say obviously because that means that it infers that somebody already knows something. So we are capable of talking about thousands and thousands of products and services. So that's a lot, and it could easily be overwhelming to a first-time person coming on to hear about longevity. So we keep it very simple. and inside the opportunity that's, just flows through all the short little video clips, we're talking about Dr. Wallach. We are talking about 90 for Life, and we even attach 2 specific videos that reference Dr. Wallach and some of his lectures around longevity and 90 for Life and things that would be discussed from Dead Doctors Don't Lie. So we specifically talk about 90 for Life, and then generally or generically, we reference the fact that we are very similar to Amazon, meaning simply that we have access to many, many, many products that through the internet can be delivered straight to you. So that's how we kind of cover that. Bobby, does that help?
Yes, and one more question, Scott.
Of course.
In the industry of network marketing, should we present this from an opportunity representing longevity, or let's say a person don't know nothing about network marketing or the Joe Wallach way? Which approach should we go on that direction?
Okay, so here's my personal approach. When I'm talking to someone, my personal approach, and people that know me very well or have heard me train a lot, I stick specifically to unless someone just jumps right out and they're complaining to me and it's overtly obvious that they have a health condition that's radical or very serious or life-threatening or complicated and it's all consuming for them, then obviously I'm going to take a product-driven approach. I want to help that person. And if someone does not do that with me, then I don't put that seed in their head and say, hey, just start talking to me about all your health problems and your aches and pains and just, overwhelm me with all your stuff. If they're not doing that to me, then I take a business approach, because the number one disease on the planet is some form of financial brokenness, shortcomings with cash, not having enough to pay your bills, stressed out because the dreams you've always had have never come true. So I take that approach because it plagues most people. And if we're smart business people and smart socially at the same time, then we will understand that typically a wise person and trained well with money will use money to overcome most obstacles in their life, except for the relationship ones that just flat out take work. So that's the approach I take. So for example, Bobby, if it was with you, if you were my prospect, I would simply have a conversation that looks like this. I'd say, hey, Bobby, I've got a project that I'm working on that's super successful. This project has grown into something very, very large. I think it could have a huge impact on you financially. So Bobby, would you be open or willing to explore some possibilities that could in fact help you in the same case financially? Would you be open to exploring that? And now you have an opportunity to think, do I want to have my life improve financially? If you do, you're going to say yes. And if you don't, you're going to say, I've got that all covered. In which case, I'm probably going to respond to you and be like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Most people don't have that all figured out. So what are you up to? It's a great response to somebody that would say that. However, I'm finding, and I think most people are as well, most people are not going to respond like that. That's why we use this particular invitation, is because most people, I'm going to say most is probably like 70% or greater, will say, sure, I'd be open to exploring that possibility. What are we talking about? And I'll say, hey, listen, Bobby, if I send you a link, it's a really important link, and I don't share this link with just everybody. So that means that it says a lot about what I think about you. If I share this link with you, will you give me your word that you will go through the information that I share with you? And you're probably going to say, sure, I'd be happy to do that. And even if you ask me questions, and I just realized they're questions of curiosity. Even if you ask me questions like, sure, tell me more, let's talk about it right now, I'm going to say, listen, all I can tell you is that you're probably not going to sleep very well tonight because you're going to be so excited once you see the link I send to you. And it's probably going to be more interesting than a lot of of other things that you've considered anytime recently as well. So in all fairness to your time and mine, just go through the link and let's have an awesome, amazing discussion afterwards when you haven't slept very well tonight. So I use more of that kind of an approach. I stick to those responses because they're duplicable. If I taught you to do anything else, here's what happens. You end up saying, oh, well, we had this conversation and that conversation, it led to this question and that question. Here's how I answered this. Here's how I talked about that. And the reality is, we don't want anybody doing that, because the more you get into conversations outside of the explanation of what's packed inside this link, the more trouble or possibility for trouble you have of getting not only yourself into, but people in your team will get into the same complications. Then they come back and they're saying it didn't work. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with you, and it has to do with me. We are what's not working. You're not working. I'm not working. We together are not working. What's working is fine-tuned information that is succinct and that is directed and that is applicable and duplicable to every single person we come across, that answers questions, that explains in perfect timing information, that comes at the right order, in the right sequence, and it leads them right down a yellow brick road. And now you know what their journey looked like, and you'll know what everyone else's journey looks like. It's very predictable. So I hope that helps, Bobby. And does that clear things up a little bit for you? And is there any other question you have?
Scott, you really did a great job. So the app, it tracks if they watching the video from the product perspective, the opportunity perspective as well. It tracks everything like that.
That is correct, Bobby. It does. I believe it hits the whole gamut. So right on the front side, when you see this app in work progress for the first time, I'm just making an introduction. So it's just good old me. So I'm standing in front of my house. I've got a video recording in front of my house. Why? Because right up front, unlike a lot of other people, I like to talk about the things that haven't worked so well for me in my life, because I want people to know right up front, I'm human. I've made mistakes. I've had some hardships, some really, really doozies, and some monster big ones. And as soon as people know that, it's like, okay, this guy's real. Because so many people are like, look at my perfect world. Everything I touch turns to gold, and everything's just a basket of roses. And Bobby, you and I know that that's not honest, and that's not real life. So that's why right up front I say, here's some hardships I've been through financially. I have right on the video from house foreclosure to having it all. And so it's really a very vulnerable, honest, rags to riches story. And, I'd rather do that and be relatable and open and honest with people than look at how successful I've always been. That's a totally different story. So I do my best to come across as very relatable, very vulnerable, so that right off the bat, all the curtains are dropped and we get past all the pretentiousness. And then I walk people through this really cool, amazing path of how you can go from being in need and feeling like things in life haven't worked for you or worked so hard all your life. I break down every barrier, every objection, and invite you into a relationship where we can hold hands, lock arms, arm in arm, whatever that looks like, and just take a journey together. And it leads people all the way to success if they'll stay on that path that we take them down. So, through that whole journey, we're saying, if you've got financial issues, we can help you. If you've got health issues, we can help you. And ultimately, it puts you right into YGYBuilder University, where, Bobby, having gone through YGYBuilder University, it discusses the holistic approach to longevity, where inside YGYBuilder University, we touch on product. Inside YGYBuilder University, we touch on the business building aspect, and all of that brought together equaling success. And then the whole app is closed out at the very end by, look at what just happened. You just took the most amazing journey. You just graduated with some thinking and some mindset and YGYBuilder University to boot it all. And now you can see that you're part of an amazing system. And the best thing for you to do is not only to have committed to YGYBuilder, but to also commit to using the very tool that just worked for you. And that's YGYBuilder. So now you've got the whole thing duplicated with a big bow, and now everybody's doing the same thing by using this tool, this system, this story, and downloading that app for themselves.
Wow. One more question.
Yes,
Scott, I'm learning so much. So Scott, can these videos be looped? Let's say if I'm at home or I'm at a store, let's say I'm trying to help a business owner get customers or anything subject to the customers that they have. Could they have something that's set up in their store that's looping from the opportunity or the product side, that's just looping and looping and looping, and cards set out in the store or flyer that said for more information, this tied to their ID number?
So I'm thinking store, and I'm thinking, people that go into stores are looking to buy something. And usually when they go into stores, they're looking to buy products. So if you're in a store and you're looping something, and I get what you mean by that, you probably are having to loop something that makes sense to the reason they walked into that store. So
Right.
now we're talking about a product loop. So, if I were going to loop something, I don't know that it would have anything to do with this particular app. To put a basic loop into a store that's talking about product, I don't see how that is able to tie specifically to your personal ID number at this particular point. And then honestly, Bobby, something like that is not very personable. So you just got strangers. It's the same thing as setting up a booth and having somebody walk past your booth. It's even a little bit more cold than that, and dropping their name into a bucket. And, there's really no relationship there. It's just a name on a piece of paper, and it doesn't mean much. They don't know anything about you. You don't know anything about them. Pretty much all you have is permission to reach out to a very cold stranger, and that's going to take a lot of work. So it might generate some leads, and then you'd have permission to send your link to them. Maybe that's one way you could look at it. But other than that, that would be probably a little bit slower approach. I can think of a lot of other approaches that would be more beneficial to you, Bobby.
Okay, you answered all my questions. Okay, thank you so much, Scott.
You're welcome, sir. Glad that that helped, and I think it was helpful for all of us, actually, Bobby. So we all learned a little something by walking down the path of the questions you just asked. So thank you very much. And Reggie, thank you from you. Thank you, Daniel, for your question. Glenda, thank you for your question. Nick, thank you for your question. Yours was answered with Joel's response. Anybody else have any question, just like those names I just mentioned? Anybody else have a question? Perfect. So how many of you can go out and share that link with one person a day this week? One person a day. One person a day, you'd have 5 new stories or testimonies or responses from people. If you passed out that link to 5 people, you're going to get a response. But here's the thing. You got to be smart about this. It's not just like, approaching somebody, whether you know them or not, and saying, hey, I've got, this link I'm going to send you, and it's super, super powerful. Please go through it. Please go through it. Don't beg people. There's no value when you beg somebody to do something. There's a tremendous amount of value when you edify information, when you edify people, when you talk highly about a person. Now you're elevating the game. You're making people think. You're making people salivate. You're making people scratch their head and go, wow, what could this look like if I followed into this information that's being presented to me? How much better could my life be? So I edify people. I speak highly about this tool. I use the approach that I just modeled to Bobby, where I say, listen, I've got a project that's really successful. And it has grown tremendously, and our project is all over the world, and it's been very good to me and my family. And you don't have to define what that means. It doesn't need to mean the size of a check or a rank advancement. That doesn't mean anything to people you're talking to. So just say, this project has been very, very good to me and my family. I think it could have a huge impact on you and your family financially. So why do I throw that in there? Because I want to program people to think financially. What could a financial stronghold do to improve the life of you and your family? And you and I both know that people would love to win the lottery, but they just don't want to pay for the ticket. So they're not even a contender. But in their mind, they're imagining, boy, wouldn't it be nice if all of a sudden I had $5 million? Yeah, that would be nice. But people don't want to do the work. So I just find out who wants to do the work. So if I mention project, that means work. If I mention money, that means reward. So are you willing to work for a substantial reward? That's what I'm programming people with, is, are you willing to work for a substantial reward? So if their answer is yes, I'm open to exploring possibilities on what that could look like. Now you've impregnated their mind with this thought that says, man, my circumstances could potentially change because of my good fortune in this conversation today. Running across you could be the gateway for their life dramatically being improved. So that's what you've got to think about. Now that you've had that conversation with someone, which really takes seconds, not very many minutes, it's just seconds, less than 60 seconds, you've been able to have that conversation. That's 1 minute out of your life. It's 20 seconds out of your life, as I like to put it. So what's 20 seconds to a minute out of your life to explore with someone their mindset around improving their financial stronghold? If they say no to that, good riddance. Seriously, they're probably wanting something for nothing. You don't have time for that, and neither does anybody else listening to this training call, right? Nobody has time to convince people to have to work at changing their financial situation. Why would you want to scratch your head and bang it against the wall, getting frustrated, chasing people that don't have the ability to dream? Chase the people that have the ability to dream, that have vision, that have a desire. They just don't have they have desire, they just don't have the vehicle. They're going, my goodness, if I just knew what to do, I would do it. And then you come along and you're saying, here's what you do to change your financial situation. If I send you a link that will explain all that to you, will you give me your word you'll watch it? And that's when magic happens. So in the same breath, say, okay, I'm going to call you back tomorrow so we can talk about it. Get that appointment right up front. Don't say, I'm going to send you a link, and then whenever we get the chance, we'll just get around to having a conversation. No, Glenda, I'm going to send you a link, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you tomorrow because I know you're not going to sleep tonight if you go through this information. So let's download and debrief tomorrow. What time tomorrow works best for you? And then Glenda's going to give me a time. She's going to say, well, you know what? I've got an opening at 10. Why don't we talk then? Boom, it goes on my calendar. I have an appointment based off of that app. How awesome is that? If they go through the app, they're going to have everything they need to know under their belt. Now I'm not walking into a first-time conversation thinking, wow, this is a load of coal. I've got a lot of explaining to do. Where do I start? Where does it end? Where do I begin? How do I know I'm saying all the right things? How do I know I'm speaking their language? How do I get to the right point in the right order? You don't have to think about any of that. You just have the fun conversation where you come back and say, was I right or was I right? That is amazing. This is the reason why so many people are having success in their longevity business right now. And you can say the word at that point because they've already been through all the training. They've got it. So this is why people are so successful in longevity, is because we have duplicable systems and processes that are working for people. And honestly, Demetrius, this is why I've been thinking about you. This is why you're on my list. This is why I came to you, is because I knew you were an above average friend of mine. I knew you'd have the vision to be able to see what it is that people are seeing inside of longevity. I want to travel the world with you. I want to do cool stuff. I want to help you with those special things you've been telling me you've been wanting to do for the last 10 years of your life. I know they're going to take capital and creative thinking. I want to introduce you to some other brilliant-minded people in our world, in our circle of longevity, that are constantly thinking outside the box. And when you meet them, you'll be introduced to a world of open-minded, visionary thinking people. Isn't that cool, Demetrius? And she says, yeah, that's amazing. And so that's what we got to start doing, guys, is thinking strategically and using these tools in an applicable way every day. It doesn't mean we get off this call. So let me close out by just sharing this. Here's a fatal flaw. I know you're pumped right now because I am too. That's why I'm talking faster. I'm excited. And I get like completely turned on and pumped up and ecstatic thinking about taking our ambassador business inside of longevity to super duper quadruple ambassador. So just because we, have reached this upper rank in the compensation plan, it doesn't mean we're done. I'm not sitting around sipping tea on the back porch drinking cocoa or, for dessert. So we're out there, we're working, we're rolling up the sleeves, we're in the mud, we're getting dirty still because we're having so much fun. And it's fun when you don't feel like you're wasting your time. And we're not wasting our time when we use a system like this. We are using our time very, very wisely. It's a very calculated approach. It's very duplicable. So the fatal flaw is to come off this call with all this excitement and all this training under your belt and say, wow, that was really a great call. I learned a lot. And that's what most people do. I'm just being honest. Most people say, I learned a lot. That was really inspiring. And I can't wait till the next call. Well, we can't wait till the next call either to see your faces. But here's what we want more than anything in the world. And we know it'll happen if you'll just take this advice. Go implement what we just talked about. It's not that hard. It's just a matter of doing it. Go implement what we just taught and get permission from at least one person a day. So don't watch TV, don't go to the movies, don't play bingo, don't go to bowling, because I know these are all your favorite hobbies, bingo and bowling. That's what everyone likes to do, right? Don't watch Office, don't go to Netflix, don't go to Instagram, don't go to Facebook. I mean, you're not making any money anyways on Instagram and Facebook. Believe me, trust me, you're not. You're not making a dime on Facebook and Instagram. You are not. Where you will make money is by doing what we just said, and then go to Facebook and then go to Instagram and post about it. That's how you make money. You post your testimonies and your results in the form of curiosity. One little link has transformed my life. That would be a good post. That could actually be a really good post. One little link has transformed my life. And then put a picture of you doing something fun. That would be a brilliant link. See how a little link has taken I'm making this up. There's nobody on here. I'm not looking at anybody saying this, so I'm just making up a story. So, see how one little link has taken a struggling single mom with 3 kids to fill in the blank. See how that works? That's being smart on social media. But here's what most people do on social media. No point, no intent. You get bored. You're wasting time. Where's my Instagram link? There it is. You open it up and you're like, oh, look at those people. Look at these people. Oh, I'll like that. They'll think more of me. Oh, I'll make a comment here. They'll think more of me. Like, comment. Scroll. An hour or 2 goes by in your prime time. That's not making money, people. It's not. I'm being as honest as I possibly can. That's not how you make money. You make money by doing exactly what I said, and then when you get results, then you go to social media and you drop a hint of curiosity out to the world and you talk about the success you're having. Because what does that do? It creates all those people that are scrolling. Now they come across Sherry Bowles and they go, oh, that's an interesting comment she just made. Look how a successful realtor used a link to completely quadruple her empire. That might be a little bit more fascinating. And they're going, I wonder what that link is. I wonder what's working for her. Last I knew, she was a successful realtor. What is she talking about? And now you have a like and you have a comment or a private message saying, hey, what's that link all about? And what are you up to? What are you talking about? That's how you make money. You see the difference? You post things that get people to respond to you. Stop liking and being the most likable person in social media. It'll keep you starved and broken. Can I be any more honest or clear about that?
Scott, that is really great. Scott, can you share the video unlimited as many times as you want? This is Bobby Knight again.
Yes, sir. You can share this link till the cows come home and start singing, which is never. So it'll never end how many times you can send out that link.
Wow, this is great. Thank you, Scott. This is really great. So it's just $1 a day, and you can send it out as many times you want, 100 times, 1,000, or 10, or whatever, right? $1 a day.
Now you're starting to think like now you're thinking Warren Buffett like. So nice. I'm going to change your name to Bobby Buffett Knight. That's what we're going to have to do right now. Bobby Buffett Knight. That's your new name, because that's how he would be thinking. He'd be going, wait a second. If I never send out the link, I'm wasting $29.95 a month. If I send out the link once a day for a month, it costs me $1 per link. If I send it out 10 times a day for a whole month, it's costing me 10 cents. And if at the rate of even $1 a day, if one person in a month at $1 a day responded positively, enrolled into your business, and you got a fast start bonus and you got a quick start bonus, wouldn't that like pay you multiple fold the cost of the app?
It's beyond it. That's what I was thinking about, because I didn't know how many times we can share it. It was a limit. Scott, this is great from a product perspective, from an opportunity perspective, as long as we can find a person's vision, a desire and dream, like you're saying. Scott, I didn't even know that it was this way. And you have improvement, because I have been on some of your calls, not all of them, but I've been on most of your calls and stuff, and it's even improved even more. And it's unlimited. You can send this video and you're getting the audio at the same time. This is great, Scott.
Love it, Bobby. Thank you so much. And thanks for letting me joke around with you about being Bobby Buffett Knight, because that's pretty exciting. That's really cool. Thanks for your comments and your excitement and your enthusiasm, and for the realization of what you're experiencing by realizing the value of this tool and how affordable and inexpensive it really is when you start thinking about it.
Thank you so much. This is great time leverage. This is perfect. Thank you, Scott. I'm really excited. I'm fired up now, man. Thank you so much.
That's so cool, Bobby. So everybody, if you haven't already, get to YGYBuilder.com, go activate your account, download that app, and then voila, it's all set up. And I guess we should mention, P.S. by the way, there is something really cool. Might as well mention this before we all jump off. There's something really cool you can do. Let's say that you already have a little bit of confidence on longevity. If you've been to Leadership Mastery, you'll know what I mean by having confidence about sharing longevity yourself. There's like a 4-step approach to an invite. And there's another training. We don't have time to go into that right now. There's just a 4-step approach. So there's the invite with permission. And I already role played that with Bobby. And then when they say yes, then you personally take on step number 2, which is to explain how our business model is very similar to Amazon.com. We have 2 exceptions. We have a commission program that's duplicable and replicable and residual and pays down, infinite numbers of levels, and Amazon doesn't do that. That's why we're network marketing and they're unilevel marketing. We're multi-level marketing, and Amazon is unilevel marketing. Does that make sense? So there's 2 ways to get paid in this world. Only 2. There's unilevel marketing and there's multi-level marketing. If you're in multi-level marketing, then you can get wealthy and duplicate wealth. So it's not that you can't get wealthy inside of unilevel marketing. You just are not able to always pass that baton to the next person and have it work for them as well. So that's something different. We manufacture products and they don't. That's number 2. So that's the second piece. The third piece is when they say, wow, this is really cool, you can say, hey, you know what? Our secret sauce is something called Longevity University. It's where all the successful people go that are doing very, very well for themselves. And if you want to do well for yourself, I'd love to send you that link. And now when they say, are you kidding me? I'd love to do that. Now, instead of sending them the entire A to Z with this app, now you can think, okay, I just did what Scott does in the entirety of that phone app. Not necessary to go backwards and take them through all of that information again. I just cut a corner. If you did that, then you can go to your phone app, Bobby and everyone else, and instead of sending them the entire thing, you can say all they need right now is the portion called Longevity University. You can pull that up on your phone app specifically and send the link embedded with just the university. And now as they're going through just the university, you'll still get those same push notifications. You'll still be aware, you'll still be alarmed, and you'll be notified through a push notification that they're journeying just even through the university portion. And now you'll know when they're done with the university. And again, you have the same thing. Step 3, after the university. Step 3 is the university. Step 4 is, Bobby, I'm going to call you tomorrow at the time you tell me that you're available, and we're going to have a discussion. And that's step number 4 is the follow-up. So I just took you through the 4-step process of this journey and how to take that shortcut and not have to send them through the entirety of that link and just the portion of the university. Now, Bobby, tell me that's not brilliant. Bobby, you there? You just went silent on me.
That's beyond brilliant. Hey, my number is 916-620-1353. Scott, I love this. 916-620-1353. Train me, Scott. I want to do this.
All right. Well, you can reach out anytime. We do these calls on a weekly basis. So next week, what's our assignment, everybody? 1 link a day. Next week, come back and let's have some fun. Don't go silent on us next week because you got some homework. Just look at this as accountability. Look at it as training. Look at it as improvement and betterment in your life and in your business. Come back next week, and everyone be prepared. Be prepared next week to talk about your experience by sending out that link. Okay, can we all do that? Give me a thumbs up if everybody's willing to play on this.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So we got all the thumbs up from the camera people here. And those of you that are not on camera, we're imagining that you put your thumb up too. Come back next week and be prepared to talk about how much fun you had and how liberating it was to jump over that hurdle, get past that barrier, and really, truly begin to build your business. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope we got to, Joel, did we get all the questions that were asked in that sidebar? Did we miss anybody?
I think we got everyone, Scott. I've been monitoring it and responding privately and responding openly to different people's questions and stuff. So I've been working away on the keyboard. So I think we got them all.
Okay, perfect. I believe we'll have this particular training up on our YouTube channel. I believe it will be posted onto the Facebook page that we have for YGYBuilder. If you don't belong to those, go get yourself registered with our Facebook page. So that's just a simple opt-in. It's a button, and we'll approve you, and you'll be in there, and you'll get all the communications and all the recordings, and you can also find it on the YGYBuilder YouTube channel. Joel, thank you for your help today. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance today. We're going to unmute all the lines and sign off. Go be productive and conquer, big time, victorious conquering today, all day long. Don't stop. No TV, no social media, as we mentioned, that's not money making. And for goodness sake, stay off of Netflix and cable television and all of the news stations that just talk about garbage anyways. That is not changing anybody's life on this call. What changes life is action steps with the people here that love and care about you. Over and out, Scott Fardulis.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott and Joel. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Juliet. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Juliet.
Thanks, Glenda.
Thanks, Joel. Thank you.